Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm Julian, just tuning in here for our weekly water cooler chat. A lot of stuff going on. I like to come in here and kind of talk about news as it pertains to the company, or address any questions or big changes that are coming for us and things like that. So I'm super excited to talk here today. Probably the first thing that I really want to dive into here is, kind of the purpose of these calls. We kind of like to treat these more like a state of the company than anything else. So as things happen within the organization, I like to bring them in for that discussion. If we don't have news during that week, we tend to lean more into questions, AMA style, thing. But I think that the real purpose here is this is the weekly access to the organization that we give to the community out there. So if you have questions, tune in. If you post them in the chat here, we typically have a lot of our team here tuned in, and people like Steve or Keith or Adam or others are watching this. If you post something, they often do address those. If I see something interesting pop up, I talk about it just because I'm genuinely interested in that topic. Similarly, if we have time at the end, I do like to address questions that are posted there too, if I see ones that stick out. If I don't get to them, I do apologize. There's always next week. You can reach out to us on different channels and kind of go through that. So that's something else that I do want to talk about today. So diving right in today, we have a couple of things to go over. I've actually got Steve here that's going to tune in to give us a little bit of an update on kind of some of the changes that are coming on the social media side. But before we get there, I want to talk a little bit about some new hires. So we have, as you guys know, been striving to bring in more and more team members as we can. To onboard somebody in a full-time capacity here takes time. It takes a lot of effort. And so I'm super happy that we are moving forward with a UI UX designer that is going to be coming on board. So that's super exciting here. We still have some pending roles that are out there and open. We're constantly looking to expand, but I am very, very excited to see that we have another new team member joining us here shortly. Some of the other things that I do want to put out there as news, there are a lot of events this year. The ones that I know of off the top of my head, there is Moonclave in Las Vegas that's coming up soon, ETH Denver, ETH Barcelona, Consensus, Paris, Blockchain Week, all kinds of things like this that are going on. We will strive to be present at all of those, or most of those. Obviously, different parts of the team. If we're talking more of the EU related events, you'll probably see mostly the tech team there. If you're talking about US-based events, you'll probably see mostly the business development and marketing team here. Some of us are going to cross-pollinate a little bit, but that's super exciting if you guys are looking to plan your year ahead. So with all that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and bring Steve in so he can give us a little bit of an update here on some of the changes that are coming. I think that just to kind of preface what's going on here, we are striving to communicate in a more effective way. Last week, we were listed on Coinbase, which was an awesome change for us. There is a ton of work to be done there. We are working on that now, but probably the biggest thing that we need to work on is the way we communicate and trying to communicate in a more effective and consistent way. So if you guys have questions, feedback, you're looking to participate in a price discussion or participate within a general decentralized discussion or find out what's going on, where to do that and how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in Steve to talk a little bit about that.
I'll do the Julian wave. Hello, everyone. It's great to be here. Julian kind of stole what I was going to use as my introduction. I think having a consistent way that the community and Unifi Protocol can interact and communicate with each other will make for a much more easy discussion moving forward. And that was kind of the purpose. You may have already, the more savvy and our more enthusiastic fans may have already noticed a switch in our, social media, the way we interact there. But we'll go through that in just a second, and hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense to everyone. I actually don't have control over the presentation, so do you want to switch over to that? Yeah, perfect. Awesome. So so this is basically it. I'm not going to go into every single detail of this. You can always watch this water cooler later at your own time and freeze frame it and pause it and read it. But it's kind of, so these are our social media channels right now. There's a whole bunch of them. It's probably a lot more than you would have thought, and they all kind of serve a different purpose with obviously a lot of overlap. But so the way that this is designed is you can see there's two major columns here is what we do focus on in each of these channels and what we focus less on. And that's what I meant when I said some of our more savvy community members may have already noticed a switch away from certain things and focusing more on other things. Probably what I find the coolest thing about this, so I'll talk about it first, is if you look at the Telegram main channel. So we've had a Telegram community for a while. It's awesome. So you'll see what we focus more on over there in the green column is what we're calling a decentralized community chat. It's kind of a fun way of talking about it. We want the community chat to be more community driven. So less so more coming from, Unifi dictating, what to talk about and who gets to talk and what they talk about. It's all from the community. It's a place for fans of Unifi Protocol, fans of UNFI, the token, to come and find other fans, other enthusiasts about it and talk to them about it. It's just a meeting place. So we have that, and obviously we now have our new Discord channel as well. So that's another decentralized community chat where the power's going back to the community to run that and drive the discussion there. So that's kind of fun. I would say another major difference that people may notice is on our Twitter. Our Twitter is probably going to be more focused on what we're calling, brand marketing. So, brand marketing is more so that, people who are new to Unifi Protocol, they can kind of get an understanding of who we are as a company, what our values are, what our culture is, what we focus on in the DeFi and crypto and Web3 space, looking into the future. What are some of the problems we identify? Because if we're identifying problems, or we're probably trying to figure out some innovative solutions to that. So that's kind of cool. So that's going to be in our Twitter. And so some other things that I'll quickly point out. I think towards the bottom of this image, you'll see customer support and feedback. So that's for customer support. That's really going to be your main place to get customer support. If you're having an issue with one of our products or what you perceive to be an issue, Zendesk is the way to go. That can be accessed directly from our website. We'll have links up as well, so you'll be able to find it easily. Zendesk is the way to go. That's where you'll get the customer support. It will be a little bit more difficult to get personal customer support on our other social media channels. And that's what I mean by consistency. Meaning if we have someone in our community who, knows that they have an issue and they want to get support on it, they're going to know, oh, I just go to Zendesk and that's where it will happen. Feedback, if you have something to say, you don't like the colors, you don't like the buttons, something that you want to just give a little bit of feedback on, we love that. Even bugs, that kind of stuff. We've got an email going. It's actually not on this image. Maybe we should have put it on this image. That's my bad. feedback@unifiprotocol.com. It's a very simple email address. You just send us an email, and that's that. And then of course for like really, really major feedback and protocol-wide changes that you really think that, what, I think the whole protocol would benefit if we did XYZ. There's referendums. I think you got to hold a couple of UNFI, put up a referendum. Get some of the UNFI community to back your proposal, drum up some support for it. And, we check the referendum and the governance page all the time. We're definitely keeping an eye on what our community is telling us. So that is So that is that. And everything else, I think you can kind of take a look at in your own time. Everything else will kind of make a little sense there. Probably the last thing I would say, and maybe most importantly, is these water cooler chats. This is your best opportunity to get access to the team. As Julian mentioned, we're in the chat, in the live stream chat, I should say. We usually open the video up for questions and comments. You can put them in advance, so you don't have to be here at the time. You can put your questions in and go to sleep if it's not the greatest time for you, and you can come back later and watch it on our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. And I think that's probably it. I think I probably ran over time. Did I miss anything?
No, that was awesome, Steve. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think that you kind of hit all of the key points here. I think that this is going to be, the change in the Telegram channel is pretty big. I think that that's going to really encourage the kind of dialogue that I think is so important here. You go back to the early days of the organization, and that was a big piece of that, was the conversation that we had there. And I think by saying, we're not trying to give customer support, feedback, product marketing, like team access for specific questions there, I think that it actually opens up the dialogue there a lot more, and it makes it a lot more free flowing for ideas, because we do have dedicated rooms for each of those things elsewhere. And I think that's what's so key about it is it just makes room. Like, hey, we're trying to have a conversation here. If you're trying to if you're looking for support or feedback, there are specific rooms for that where they do nothing but that for you. So go there, and obviously this here for your weekly access to the team, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for saying that a lot more eloquently than I said it. That's exactly right. Actually, I was just thinking, and I guess I would point out, just from a personal point of view, Discord's kind of cool, because it does have, within Discord itself, it has different channels, and you'll get access to our Twitter feed and our YouTube feed. If you've got some coding skills, you'll see some of our GitHub updates. So it's like a one-stop shop. And of course, you have the decentralized chat, and there's some exclusive rooms for UNFI holders, NFT holders. So there's just some cool, fun stuff that we're trying to integrate over there.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's great. Something else that I kind of take away from all of that too is, at the very least for me, it like kind of allows me to have a more, because we know this isn't like a feedback support or whatever channel, it kind of like allows like me to participate in a much more casual sense. Like, hey, I'm just going to come in and just talk much more casually, because I know now that there is somewhere specific for these kinds of things. There is a time and a place for it, so we can have more intimate conversations with people, and that's super exciting. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Cool. All right, great. Well, thank you so much, Steve. See ya. All right, guys. So I have one more slide here. There's been a lot of talk about what's going on, what's new, what's coming up. I'm really hesitant to talk about what's coming. This chart goes a lot farther to the right and a lot further down below, but I'm trying to give you guys a sense of what's happening now. This is like our state currently, of everything we've built, what we've built, where we've built it, etc. So we obviously have the UNIFI token, we have staking, UTrade, UNIFI report, UTrade version 2, referendums, our UStake platform itself, NFTs, and several things that we're working on that are as of yet unannounced. So we've built a lot of things on a lot of different blockchains. So obviously things like NFTs may not be in development on Tron, for example, but they are currently live on Ethereum. Similarly, you've got things like referendums that are currently live on Ethereum. That it's within our pipeline to build that out onto additional blockchains as well. So what this is meant to basically do is basically give you guys a quick snapshot of what we've completed so far and what is remaining. There are a lot of open tasks here, and there are a lot that are in the works, and we're chewing through. We do check off boxes on this quite routinely, and we have some new things that are coming here in Q1 that are going to impact these. That's in addition to new blockchains. So I just wanted to put out there that although I think from an individual product launch standpoint, it looks kind of off, like we're jumping from BTTC to Avalanche to ICE and ontology and things like that. There is definitely a scorecard that we keep internally. We're trying to complete the set, and we're trying to build out as much as we can across this. We can offer a nice uniform experience across every blockchain that we're on, despite the technology that it does use. So with that being said, we have as of today, I think that we just opened up Ontology version 2 testnet for UTrade version 2. So that's super cool. So that's something that's going to be checked off here in the near future. I know there are some other version 2s that are pending in the works and also in testing. I think there's at least one more non-standard EVM blockchain version 2 that is pretty darn close as well. So that's super exciting. So we're looking at that. Obviously, we have super pair on each of these blockchains. So obviously a need for UNFI to be deployed on each of those chains is there, which does allow us to build out some additional cool things to come. And then in terms of Q2, we have some really cool things that we've been working on. What I think are very cool things. When I look at the space as it is today, I'm going to switch this up a little bit. But when I look at the space as it is today, there are a lot of different focuses by a lot of different companies. Terra, really cool blockchain, very, very cool chain. They've done a great job with USD Terra. They've done a very good job with their circulating supply, the way they deal with their community and things like that. But they're not immune. We take a look at some of the issues of DeFi that are out there, the sustainability of certain APRs and rewards and things like that. They're having the exact same issues that people like Pancake are having, or Sushi, or ACS, or whatever you want to name. The exact same issues that those companies face are being faced by major blockchains as well. And they see the issue of sustainability of the APRs. They see the issue of impermanent loss as that affects somebody's amount of liquidity that they've provided in. And as a result, the entire DeFi industry is going through a major transition, I think, now. We're seeing people, I tend to think that we're seeing a lot more institutional participation there. We're seeing a lot more large companies coming in to participate. We're seeing individuals building out cool technology for an individual basis to kind of take advantage of some of the opportunities there. But DeFi is at a very interesting state where you have a ton of companies trying to solve some very old problems within DeFi. You have a transition of new institutional participants coming in, and you have brand new technologies that are being pursued. Big companies, Uniswap, Aave, companies like this are coming in, and they're investing huge amounts of resources into new tech that is coming out. And then you have somebody like us that's kind of watching this entire thing and looking for these opportunities and how we can bring those to our community as early as possible, if not as one of the first to kind of bring those things in. So that's our focus now, is positioning ourselves in such a way so that when these opportunities pop up, we're first through the door to provide those to provide that access. And so right now, it's something that we're focused on too, and a lot of that is going to hopefully come out here in the near future as a part of our Q1, maybe into Q2 product launches. So with that being said, guys, I think I'm going to end on if there's any questions there, I'll get to those in a second. But the last thing that I do want to put out there is, as I mentioned, we have hired, bringing in some new people, and we've been talking about a new website for a long time. Believe it or not, that's a big piece of how we present ourselves to new people. Coinbase listing is brought in a lot of new people, and we need to work on how we can communicate with them effectively. That's largely what Steve was here for today. But a website is kind of the face of the company. So we're going to have to really put a ton of effort into revitalizing that and making sure it's a better showcase of who we are. So with that being said, guys, I think the team actually hit all the questions that are out there. So I am going to actually wrap this up there. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions in the near future, pop in here. You can ask them away, as Steve said, and I will get to them then. So thank you all so much and have a great week.